10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Team secrets turn to ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finals of ESL One Hamburg 2017, the EU qualifiers. We've got a big time best of 5 coming up here, and the winner of this one headed to that LAN in Germany. I'm Zyori, joined by Trent Pax for at least the first game. We're going to have old Brax coming on before too long here, but Trent, how you feeling, my man? Me too.
The best of 3 between Secret and Mid or Feed, aka the Wii Stack, aka Tomato's European Adventures, but it did not go too well for them. They were defeated.
Well,
Yes.
how was the series? Did we see any curveballs? Did Secret give you any information you didn't already know, Trent?
That's the puppy Secret, the puppy Chen. I understand he played a little bit already, but it was back, baby. It was beautiful form, just like she used to be, and he was rocking, rolling, grabbing some creeps. But it was a lot of fast gaming, and oh well.
There you go.
Speak and ye shall receive. And it's puppy.
You go. Yeah, these guys wasting absolutely no time. A Lich Necro, a little bit of an undead opener for SFT, and then Chen Nyx Assassin here for Secret. All right, well, a legendary Chen player, but an early pick. So what does this mean? What can SFT do here to try to handle this Chen?
Earlier today, they're like, there's no way this thing makes it through the second phase. But last game, before they'd even picked, and a Bat Rider. I mean, 2 heroes generally okay up against like trying to deal with split push and a horde of creeps, and then they even got a Sven and a sniper after that for the Wii stack. All these heroes were pretty good against Chen. Chen was one of the most farmed heroes in the entire game. He was keeping up. He was like 3rd or 4th net worth. He just got Midas, then into Pipe, into an Aghanims, and he was just controlling the whole game flow. Puppy doing his thing. It was tough.
I still think of counter jungling, you know, your Rickies, your bounty hunters, but that feels like such a gamble. The last couple times I've seen it since they opened up the jungle, which of course was a long time ago, but now dedicated junglers like Chen, they've got a lot of space to work with. You've got a lot of places to move, and it's really hard for a hero like Ricky or Bounty to actually stick on the Chen and leech all of that experience. It looks like Secret might go for the route of just easy kills on the creeps. They're going to ban out the Doom, other heroes that come to mind like the Clinks. You can death pack them down. You've got the Crystal Maiden, of course, the Frostbite. That's pretty darn good against those neutrals as well.
Some of those classic counters, I don't know if SFT are willing to run Enchantress, but I think they have actually played it with Nikwa, so that could be a pretty good ban here too. But yeah, the best solution that they had was, oh, there goes the Bounty Hunter. But basically what Weeha had to do, because he was playing the Earth Spirit, was they put very deep wards to monitor the Chen, and he was following him around essentially in the early game. There was very good wards as well, though, from Secret that kind of spotted what Weeha was up to. So despite his best efforts of leeching the experience that Chen was getting, overall it was a net game, because you're still pulling this Earth Spirit away from any aggressive plays. And Chen, well, he can still like hit one camp and send a creep at mid. I mean, there's just a centaur like hitting your mid hero while he's jungling or stacking or something. So he's still being efficient, disrupting your mid lane. And Earth Spirit kind of has this question of, okay, do I stick around and like annoy this Chen and try and steal experience from him, or do I have to go help my mid lane? Do I try and put kills on somewhere? And in the end, it was just too much effort wasted by their opponents. And too much speed out of that mid lane. Now, the Pugna and the TA were the 2 heroes they used this morning.
Okay.
It was gross. It was nasty. Mid one was completely out of control, but the past couple days he's had his Ember Spirit before, which if there's not a lot of control picked up here soon from SFTe-sports, we might see again. And we had a mid Underlord for mid one in one of our games. It was dirty. He went Hood into, it was just general aura stuff. I mean, he just walked at them, got some pipe going, and that was it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, in some weird way, that makes a little bit of sense. Underlord is a very tempo kind of hero, right? He's good in the off lane because he can stand his ground. He has a lot of damage, so he can still find some farm. He can kill stacks and neutrals very easily. I could see him playing a driver's seat role in the mid. Very hard hero to gank. He gets good experience, gets good farm, never has to go back to the well. All of a sudden, you've got this big beastly underlord that you can't deal with. It sounds weird, but I could totally visualize that working. But here we go. The Earthshaker now third for SFT.
Yep, and I have to include what the final hero was with the underlord. It was it was actually a Huskar too. It was a mid underlord, a Huskar safe lane, and a Necrophos off lane. Tell me if that's not disgusting. But
dude, Dota is in one hell of a place right now. That's all I have to say. I mean,
yeah, they didn't even have like an oracle or anything. It was interesting, but
well, here's the big boy himself, the Buenomancer, still getting some love in the space, a big time damage dealer. What do you think? What's the expected position with Venomancer these days? Is he still that flex pick?
Yeah, for sure. With their draft, I would guess it's probably going to be ace in the safe lane. If it was SFT, I'd say off lane. They've been running a lot of Nikwa on the Venomancer in the off lane, but I think with Team Secret's drafts and general playstyle that I've watched, it's probably going to be safe lane. They have been running a lot of these very early aggressive push strats.
Yeah,
we've had some off lane Pugnas as well with Fata too, and I know like Universe was running off lane Pugna and stuff too. He's a very fast hero, hard to deal with, so it's understandable why you do it. But you already have a Chen, you have a Venomancer, so if we have safe lane Veno, he's going to be looking at pressure on that top lane, as they are dire side for Secret. Chen's going to be rotating around the jungle. You want heroes that are going to be generally survivable. If Chen can't help you super early, you certainly don't want them feeding away anything while Chen's trying to get himself going, so Queen's a good option there.
Yeah. No, definitely feels pretty safe. And SFT are in this weird spot where they are, I wouldn't say they're locking lockdown, but they also don't have an abundance of it, right? You've got Necro Scythe, you've got Earthshaker if he can close the gap. That long-range fissure can be a good way to start an initiation on Queen of Pain, but you need some sort of stun lockdown follow-up after that. So I feel like this last pick has to have some degree of control, or this game might be kind of difficult.
Yeah, there's quite a few options. I'm guessing this is position 4. Earthshaker again. The offlane shaker seems to have just died out completely at this point. Yeah. Essentially extinct.
It's too slow, dude. It's way too slow.
You need a lot to get going. It was fun for a bit, but it's gone now. So Bat Rider would be, again, one of the better heroes that's left in the pool here, I think, in terms of just giving them some initiation. They already have quite a bit of damage. They have the Earthshaker follow-up. They could also go for the Faceless Void. Would be a pretty good ban here, I think, from Team Secret, if they want to remove that.
Yeah. We've got a pretty good range cast here. Dump some damage into the Chrono. As we've talked about, Void's one of those strange heroes that can really do a lot with pretty limited farm. You get a Vlad's Offering, and you're just ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. I think there's also the chance they like Lich, Necrophos off lane, Weaver safe lane, and pick a mid hero here for SFT. They can pretty much do whatever they want, honestly.
It is pretty flexible.
Free choice. Something
like Puck is jumping out at me for SFT. Might be something that Secret want to consider banning. Have they played that at all?
They definitely have recently. I think
Ember ban instead.
Same idea though, but like any hero can just go mid thanks to the beauty of Lich, and well, now they're gonna give themselves a lot of different matchup options here from the side of Team Secret.
I like this. A lot of flexibility and all heroes that can kind of stand their own. You talked about that Chen aspect. It's a support that has a locked position, can't always come save you if you're having a hard lane, but all of these heroes either have an escape or some obnoxious mechanic, aka plague wards, that allow you to just take over a lane and kind of become somewhat unkillable unless they rotate a lot of resources. So we'll see what SFT.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister.
It's really tough. I keep seeing, I want to say FTP, file transfer protocol, but it's not coming out. So maybe we'll just start calling them Illidan stack. How's that? A lot to consider with this final pick. I still think Puck is pretty good. A lot of AoE damage, just silence, great against Quap, pretty good against Phantom Lancer. Big damage. It's a Drow. Okay, the other angle.
Okay, yeah, that helps out with the Weaver, that's for sure, and that means Nikwa on the Shaker, so it might actually be a true off lane. That way the STST can just bully a lot with the support Weaver. Makes sense to me. Certainly beneficial when you have Drought Aura. Where do they lane this? They want to be a little bit aggressive, perhaps? Probably not. Drow Weaver top. Shaker off lane, tops in mid lane on the Necrophos, and one thing I don't think was addressed in this draft was the Monkey King and the Arc Warden have been these very impressive heroes for SFT so far. Thompson is just disgusting on both of them. And teams failing to respect ban them fell into some serious trouble. That's how...
yeah, that'll happen.
Yep.
That will happen.
He was very, very good, but...
Well, so what do you think here, Trent? We were pretty cynical about the offlane Earthshaker. However, in a situation like this where you've got a Drow strat, you've got 4 other ranged heroes with you, stands to reason that they're going to be able to knock down some tier 1 towers, so that gets the gold going for Earthshaker a little bit. It's not impossible for him to jungle. He's very slow, but he can still find a little bit of farm. The thing about offlane Earthshaker, I think, is you just need one early to mid-game fight where the Earthshaker lives and cleans up a couple of kills. It just takes that one, oh god, we committed too deep, he just cleaned up the entire Chen army. And then all of a sudden, he's halfway to a Blink Dagger, and he becomes a real hero. You know, that's the bridge you have to get over with the offlane Shaker. And I think a Drow strat positions him fairly well to do that, relatively speaking.
I envision him probably being the reason they lose this game, if I had to say anything. My thought process is, it's an offlane Shaker. They have a Chen. What are they going to do when Chen rotates in to kill that top tower? Absolutely nothing. I don't see how they defend that tower. That tower dies real fast. Suddenly, Shaker is over here farming a Blink Dagger for like 8 minutes. And then they're going to lose their bottom towers.
Well, Yapzor might be in some trouble here, buddy. This is going to be an easy first blood. Beautiful block out from Nikwa, and that thing gets things started pretty quickly for this Radiant team. Easy. I
told you he'd make them lose the game. Helping to get first blood, what a terrible start. But I don't know. I feel like the pressure is just going to be absurd onto his towers. But yeah, it's if they win or lose, it's going to come down to the Shaker. Has to find that blink timing. Has to make that big play. It's going to be tough. In terms of the lanes, Queen of Pain, classic Fata hero. He's going to get to play it in the off lane this time. His mid one will be taking the PL to the mid, and we will get Ace on his Venomancer. So this was a cool option that was available to them because they have picked these very survivable heroes. Queen of Pain off lane, definitely not a brand new thing or anything like that. You guys have probably seen this before, but always a bit of a treat to see. And she's even going to get the matchup that she probably wanted here against the Necrophos, as they're going to be sending Illidan on the Drow into the mid lane with the help of Lich, it looks like. Okay, interesting.
All right, so bounties come out, and it will go 2-2. Weaver going to fall short in his quest to come up and try and finish this off.
Or snipe the courier with the puppy grabbing it.
How do you pronounce Weaver's name? Is it just STST? Is that
yeah, that's him.
STST. Okay, just making sure there's no hidden lingo there.
That's what I call him.
Get too deep into this thing. If it's good enough for Trent Pax, it's good enough for Zyori. That's my motto.
That's
all right, so it's Drow Lich mid. Mid one going to be taking the PL here. Definitely not the easiest matchup, so some rotations will come his way. Probably going to be a little slow getting started. Meanwhile, in the jungle, STST bumps into Puppy already, so he's going to play this sort of bounty hunter role we were talking about, just trying to leech XP and harass. But Yapzor is here, and he's not going to be able to do too much. However, Trent, this is a lot of focus from Secret. They've got 3 heroes here in the mid lane, and really none of them are getting too much farm outside of Puppy.
Yeah, ST definitely has a lot of pressure on him too, much like Nikwa. Try and figure out exactly how he can help his team during this game.
Yeah, a lot of this, of course, will come down to the counter jungling aspects. If the Weaver makes a misstep, takes a tumble early, things can swing really in favor of the Chen, but of course, vice versa. You have to go
bottom lane.
Of those big creeps. Oh. Down bottom? Oh, God, yellow. Yeah, they're going to get a kill here. Thompson, they're going to chase him down. The solo Necro won't be able to handle it, and that's the slow from Queen of Pain. Secures the kill. Very nice. That's an easy one for Fata. Makes it 1-1. Sorry, I thought you said top lane for some reason, so I was real confused for
maybe
a
I
moment.
did. I meant to say bottom.
Yeah.
But either way, yeah, this is a pretty good matchup, I would say, early on. To be able to have the Queen of Pain up against Necrophos like this, and he has the aura early on. You just keep daggering him, and then because the Weaver's not here, I was maybe expecting him to try and punish the Queen of Pain a bit in lane, but instead he's putting all that focus onto Puppy. He does stop a stack from happening.
The Weaver is pretty committed. Both of them are level 1, so this is the classic, I'm sacrificing my own experience to distract you and make sure Puppy isn't putting pressure on the other side lanes. And it seems to be going pretty well. I mean, this is that stage of the game where even just having a Wild Wing Ripper with a Tornado could start changing the state of that mid lane a little bit, and Puppy has just been unable to kind of bring that focus over to mid one.
As he uses Mango, though.
Yeah.
He's running low on the old mana here.
Mid one. Doppelganger back to the high ground. They're going to try to pursue a few more auto attacks, and they'll find it, but I don't think this is going to be enough.
Oh, but with the Weaver?
Does not go for it. SFTe does, but mid one, he salves up, and he actually finds the kill the other way.
Damn it, he has another salve.
Huge for the Phantom Lancer. Down bottom, the Necro will tumble again as we're watching that. 2 kills stacking up for Secret now as they grab the lead.
Yeah, but that helps mid one so much. He now has, oh, actually, those are Puppy's boots coming out. I thought those were going to be for mid one, but he's probably going to be looking for a bottle first, one would think. Should be close to it, but he runs all the way home. Still has his self, and he'll have plenty of mana to keep spamming here. So definitely a win for the Dire on that one.
Oh, yeah. Great use of the South. I mean, showing the weakness of Weaver early on. He's very sneaky and elusive, but not particularly survivable. Quap getting low down bottom. Death Pulse will chase her down, but she's got a salve, and she'll be just fine.
Look at top lane. Ace has created a wall of wards, so he farms every Radiant creep that comes up, and then he's pulling his wave into the stack, which he can also start farming with his wards. And Niqua is like, They
told me offlane Earthshaker wouldn't go that well, but this isn't what I had in mind. Yeah, that's pretty devastating. I mean, he is leeching a fair bit of experience. Let's be real. He is level 4, so it's not that bad. Queen of Pain
he was getting some last hits too. I mean, he's got 17. It's respectable, but I think this is where it turns up though. Yeah. Like now is when you're just like, oh, okay, I see how this could be a problem. That's a nice Fisher block there from Niqua to stop that pull from coming over. Gets the vast majority of them, although they're still aggroed for now. Ace is trying to get them back up, and he got him. It's like, sick Fisher, dude.
Down bottom, Topson going to be in some trouble. Puppy wrapping around with a Centaur. Yapzor finds the stun, and now they converge, and that will be a kill. Fata takes credit as that Satyr Tormentor helps him out with another shockwave there. STST cannot help keep his teammate alive. This poor Necro, man. Secret have found the weak spot, and they are going for it. Now back towards mid. Mid one with a double damage rune. Does have a Doppelganger. Should be all right, but gets pushed back. Has a salve, and will have to use it.
Oh. 5 minutes in, did you ever turn on last hits? I bet you did. See,
I did, of course.
See, you're the man.
Come on,
Mott's
buddy.
flaming you like you had no hope. Miss you, buddy, says Mott. What a nice guy.
Yes.
And I bet you did the overlay, too, like a good guy.
Hey, man, I'm on it.
You're
this is the grand finals. I woke up early. I had my protein breakfast, Trent. I'm ready.
Did you do a workout?
I did. I did 1 minute of ski erg. I got the blood flowing. I was ready. I'm still ready. Okay. It's a 1,500 net worth lead for Secret. It looks like they're ready, too. They're going to smoke up, baby.
Well, they've made a little bit of a change here. Shaker's down bottom now. He's got 3 points in Fisher. He's got a Clarity running, and he's got a Queen of Pain to face up against because Necrophos has gone top. He's going to be the one to try and deal with this because at least he's ranged.
Wrap around. A lot of damage onto Illidan. They're going to bring him down first. Looks like they'll just ignore the Lich altogether. Nice setup, and not really too much the Drow could do. Rotation in from STST, but it's going to be too little too late. Now Secret may just transition this into a Tier 1 tower push.
I think this is going to be a familiar sight. Just constant pushing, pressure, and the D-push that's going to come from the Radiant. Not really there. I mean, they're looking to go for a push of their own, of course, because they're a draft strat. So they need to figure out exactly how they're going to do that.
Yep.
Courier.
Very aggressive.
Oh, God, that mana burn is actually brutal for him.
Yeah, it really is. He has Dinky Donuts for mana regen. Up top, Ace trying to get a little aggressive under the tower, but will be pushed back.
Jeez. Oh, Venomancer. You know, they actually got a final pick Veno in one of their games, which is just a complete, like, that was the final kill. That was just like, oh my God, this draft is over once that happened. But even getting him in the second phase is still so good for that hero. He is so strong. And what can you do? Like, you look at Necrophos. He has 550 attack range. Wards have the more standard at 600. So these wards are just like, they punch the shit out of you when you try and take them down. They take forever because they're level 4.
Yeah. I mean, at fear of overusing momentum-based hero, Necro fits into that category as well. It's a pretty brutal hero when you fall this far behind so quickly. Up top, they are going to move in onto Ace. Maybe this could be the recovery kill Topson's been waiting for. The Reaper's Scythe, he finds it. And speak of the devil, the Necro comes out big as he dings 6. Nikwa down bottom, very low also. Secret could find another kill for themselves. That'll tie it up 1-1 in this little exchange around the map. Fata now on the dominating streak.
It's a good start. Good start indeed. He got his tranquils, I guess, for Nikwa. There you go. Positive vibes. That's what we're looking for here. And at least that that whole time where the Weaver was just sitting up top, they did eventually bring down Ace we were discussing. So that is pretty important for the overall game plan. But a 2K lead this early, that's like 500 GPM per minute. Not a good sign. That's not how math works. Yes, it is. No, it's not.
GPMs
250
per minute.
Yeah.
Those ATM machines.
There
we go. Illidan maybe in trouble mid. The Gale actually does connect. He tries to go for the Gus TP, but it's Fata. He's got the hammer, and it's dropped. Illidan is dead. Another death on the Drow Ranger.
Dire structures are fortified.
Woo. Big rotation.
Another likely familiar sight this game.
Yeah. Necro getting a lot of space up top, though. He's got his cloak. He's got his power treads. He's starting to beef up a little bit. That's exactly what the old man needs. A new cloak. Down bottom, Yapzor. He needs to get his level 6. He finds level 5 now, so starting to catch up a little bit.
Ooh, they're a little clumped
actually
here.
Lowest in the game. STST on his way down.
See Nikwa's eyes lighting up right there.
Yeah.
It's just like, struggling to get closer and soaring Echo, but he's so slow.
Yeah.
And even with that, it was unlikely to result in too much. He just didn't have the mana. Even soaring wouldn't have given him Echo Fisher.
All right, so to farm we go. Checking in on Puppy. He's level 5, looking for a Hand of Midas. So expecting this game to maybe stretch out a little bit longer than planned. Going for the investment tool.
Thompson and Ace are having a battle of denying wards and placing more wards and leaving it for one last hit. Ace is just ready to deny if he goes for that. It's getting pretty cheeky up here. It's like nothing you can do.
That's the only way you can handle the Veno.
No.
It's one of the most frustrating lane matchups, I think, regardless of who you are. Veno is just infuriating. The one upside is you get stick charges. That's the only thing.
Yeah. If you can see him, I suppose. But
no, that's true.
They try and have a little bit of a go down there on Fata. Fisher, Swarm thrown out, but nothing to do. And yeah, after those Brown Boots, Puppy is indeed, as he said, building the Midas. The same thing as he did earlier today. Worked out pretty well last time. He just gets it so quickly.
Yeah.
And his levels are good. The Nyx levels are good.
Oh, Lich. Wrapping around the tree. Puppy comes in. STST rotating over. But who's going to have the reinforcements? Now Yapzor's on his way. Chain Frost takes some bounces. It'll start moving around the creeps. But Puppy in big trouble. Pops the all heal. Now Fata's here. He's trying to line up the ult, but he doesn't
Sonic
have it.
Wave
It's
in
still on
3.
cooldown. A lot of spread damage, but still both sides with 5 alive. It's Puppy locked in a corner. Weaver finds him, and Puppy will be the first one to go down. Yapzor now getting low, pops his stick. Illidan gets stunned, finds one more Frost Arrow, and that'll be enough to secure the kill. 2-0, and now the escape. Fata should be able to make it out. What a heartbreaker. That Sonic Wave was on cooldown for, what, 5 seconds? 10 seconds there as that fight was breaking out? That could have been a game changer.
Yeah, couldn't find any sort of a play with it and realized that it was just going to go downhill from there, so didn't bother throwing it out when it finally came up. And big recovery there for the Radiant. Couple nice plays, showing the power of Lich into Chen. Yes, Puppy made a nice play. He spread the creeps and he got them away, but the Chain Frost kept bouncing between those two creeps, and that's taking away, obviously, all of Chen's power during that fight. He's not able to use those creeps effectively, can't do his thing, so it makes the fight a little bit easier for the Radiant. And then there was something else that happened during that fight, too. I guess just the general, like, Weaver being able to zip in and out there also pretty effective. And Yapzor, like you said earlier, he still wasn't 6. He is now, and he's tracking down Nikwa, so this will probably be a good opportunity to use that ulti.
It was also just a really good fissure from Nikwa in that middle of the fight to kind of break it up. So Secret never really got that grouped up, cohesive team fight feel. It just felt like a lot of little 1v1s. And I think a lot of that is to a credit to Nikwa's fissure placement there. Speaking
of Nikwa, it looks like he's going to TP mid to smoke. Yep, they have one there on the Lich. So they sense what's coming. They realize they're being scouted, and he's got out there just as time as Fata's now blinking in behind looking for him, having already used their scan. So what can they find instead? They have a ward here. It's going to spot the Chen creeps, and now Puppy himself. Do they want to go for the play is the question, and
might not be the easiest target with all the creeps nearby. Looks like they'll change pace and start rotating down towards bottom. Yapzor with a fresh vendetta sees the Weaver.
under attack.
Both sides kind of feels like they're playing a game of chicken right now, looking for opportunities. Fata silence down bottom. A lot of damage coming his way. It's a dead Fata. They just pop him.
Level 3 in the silence for the Drow.
Wow.
Excellent choice.
Dire's top tower.
Unpredictable. Here we go. Ace now in some trouble. Block out from Nikwa. Peksu doing some damage. Now STST on his way in. This Venno pretty darn tanky, though. The mana burn from Yapsor stopping the Weaver dead in his tracks, but now Drows join the party. The silence again. Chain Frost on top. Yapsor goes down as they lose 2.
They are cutting into this lead. It's now down to only 1K for the Dire.
Sure is.
And this is what they need. It's a draft strat. They want to get things moving. And again, I do really like that build from Ilden. I guess that just comes from like the general laning and stuff, because he had a pretty easy lane with the help of the Lich, so he didn't have to invest too much in the Frost Arrows. We've seen like 4 points in Frost Arrows lately from certain Drows, like maybe Garter or something like that, based on who they have to actually play against. But knowing that there was going to be pressure coming in from Secret early with that Nyx and the Queen of Pain looking to snowball, especially out of the off lane when you don't get quite as much CS, it's important that you have someone who can at least help control her up besides Nikwa.
And the byproduct of this Radiant squad getting so much momentum early is Necro has recovered. He finished off that top tier 1 tower. He's got a full pipe on the way from the Courier. He's feeling confident to go for a Radiance coming up next.
Top of the
remember
last
where
hits.
he was 10 minutes ago. This has turned into quite the recovery. He's now #1 on net worth for his team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mid one, though. Jeez. Not that many last hits. Only at 79, but 1, 0, and 2. Getting some of the bigger creeps with the Ancients certainly helps.
Yep.
So he's also... Oh, wow. He is ready to go. He's a 14-minute Diffusal Blade. That is bad news bears for Mr. Necrophos.
Absolutely. Say goodnight to your mana. Say goodbye to your immunity to physical damage, the Ghost Shroud. And, of course, it makes his illusions do a hell of a lot more damage. So it allows PL to actually do something in these team fights.
And STSC already being mana burnt so much from Yapsor.
Yeah. He's got the Aquila, but still, it does not replenish at a rate that keeps up with the mana burn coming from the Nyx, that's for sure. A lot of damage on that tier 1 tower, but they do back out, and they go for a kind of a high-risk, high-reward play as SFT move into the Roche pit, and it looks like they might be able to do it. Double damage on Drow makes this a little bit less risky, and they're going to get it.
Oh, it's so big. Like, they
Nice
could have
read.
potentially had, like, a Wild Wing Ripper or something there even this early. Might have been able to stop that, but it doesn't look like the Dire really knew that was going on. Fata's still just split pushing down bottom, getting some money for himself. They keep their 2K lead, but this is, again, a draft strat, and they're getting those very important objectives accomplished.
Doesn't that kind of Roche play just seem... It's like... it's so risky that Secret thinks they wouldn't go for it. You know, Secret also did not see that double damage rune, so that tips the scales, but... Understandable why they didn't rush into the pit thinking that that was a high likelihood as that tier 1 tower falls.
And that's now Roche Gold, tier 1 mid, and the tier 1 top. And that's all funneling into this Blink Dagger possibility for Neekwal. But Yapsor Sentry placed down. They don't get the first stun.
He's going to get off the Carapace, but he's silenced. A lot of damage. That'll be a dead Nyx. They will swat the bug. Oh, man. Unfortunate. Good read, though. I think somebody got body blocked in the trees, and they just dropped a Sentry pretty much immediately. Nice little heads-up play.
They got him. Fata, again, just split pushing.
Yep, Topton in some trouble. He's hanging onto the Ghost Shroud, not even going to use it because he knows he has to try to TP for it. Nice fissure allows it to happen. And he will
Couldn't
survive.
find the,
beautiful.
The net there, from the troll.
Yeah. All right, so like you said, that gold lead, you know, given all of the things that have gone the way of the Radiant, though, I can't help but feel like Secret are just doing a better job splitting up the map. You know, they know one of the drawbacks to the Drow strat is they'll spend more time grouped up as 5. They've got this jungler, and it seems like every time SFT is starting to group up and take towers, you've got Fata or Puppy or someone else split pushing, soaking up that farm around the map, and it's keeping them in this game.
Yeah. A lot of these heroes that you pick with Chen for that idea of being survivable and stuff in the early game tend to be pretty good split pushers and stuff too, like this Queen of Pain or the PL. So once mid one's up into his Boots of Travel, which will be the next thing up on his list, it gets even more difficult for the Radiant. Again, though, they don't have the best D-push. That is one pretty big thing about the Secret draft, so it's really tough to hold these tier 2s. They basically have to commit for a fight soon if they want to try. And one of these towers is going to be the best because there's so many good ways to TP in. You have the Shrine, you have the tier 2, you have the tier 1. Ideally, this is where you fight with Queen of Pain and PL, but they can't. Father's still mid. He's holding that TP.
Yeah, but
and
I mean,
this
again,
is like
Trent,
the best chance of this backstab. If they can't fight here, this is actually pretty bad for Secret.
it's true. However, it could also go in their favor. I mean, PL's going to get a Tier 1 tower top. They pushed out mid. The Tier 2 still is about half HP. They catch the Weaver. They end his streak, and that will be the kill they were looking for. They might end up having to pay with this Tier 2 after all. They pop the glyph, a TP coming in. The Veil gets dropped. Veno jumps forward, pops the poison, but it doesn't connect on anyone. Oh, no, that's not what he was hoping for. Now Veno's in deep. He's going to start taking a lot of damage, but it's fought. A Sonic Wave brings down the Aegis. Now Drow going to be coming back to life. Necro surviving a bit longer than planned, but mid one, he's in the fray. Nikwa drops the Echo Slam. Doesn't connect on much, but Reaper's Scythe finishes off the Phantom Lancer. They trade their Lich. It's a pretty even fight, all things considered. Both teams with a lot of resources, but SFT are in deep, and they may need to sound the retreat. Shrine gets used. STST is respawned and TP'd back in. This Weaver trying to do some damage, but stopped dead in his tracks by a nice stun from Yapzor.
Man, bold push from the Radiant. Keep that going. And it worked out amazingly well. I mean, that tower's in deny range. They're just going to pop it now for Team Secret, especially because there were two heroes nearby, so it was definitely going down. But
so overall, right, a relative break even, I think that still goes in
huge
favor
for
of
the Radiant.
Secret.
I don't think so. Because they just took that fight without Blink on Shaker. He just bought it.
Okay, that's
like
fair.
Right now, I can't believe that they got away with that, to be honest. Like, I thought Secret were like essentially baiting them in there, into that fight for a slaughter around here, because it's one of the most difficult places to fight on the entire map. In these early game scenarios where you can lose so much if you get stopped there, but they just could not find it.
Yeah. And the Weaver maybe just a little too far forward. That's the thing. The way STST has been playing, those little pickoffs are going to happen eventually. And at one point or another, you're going to run into a Sentry Ward, get caught by either a Centaur or a Dark Troll net or something like that.
Yeah, Sor continues to slide himself underneath these Radiant heroes, but he unfortunately can't do all too much with it yet. A lot of the team strategies you've been seeing lately, when it does come to this like ratting and split push stuff, the Nyx Assassin ends up just being like a scout, essentially. And Chen can kind of do that too, where you don't get too many kills on either hero, but you can just kind of send creeps around to get an idea of what they're up to.
The main reason that I think this is still good for Secret is because they're not online yet, right? Orchid on the way for Fata. That's a key item. BKB going to be coming out for PL. Crimson Guard coming out for Chen. All of these big-time like team fight game changers. And I think Secret is relatively happy to quote-unquote break even for now and then really hit the ground running once they get this big boost from all these items being completed. But we'll see. It looks like another fight might break out here as they try to defend the Tier 2 top. Radiant kind of on the defensive, though. Not really able to find the right angle to take this fight, and they are just going to back up.
I mean, they have the damage from Secret, but it's just the control element is so difficult for them. They basically just have Yapzor and the Chen. Like, this is where you kind of wish you had a puck or something, but maybe wouldn't be able to split push as fast as the Queen. There's different itemizations. The late game's a little bit different too, but now speaking of control, it's a nice two-man stun.
Oh, Veno, he does connect with the ult this time, gets silenced afterwards, force staff back. He'll be just fine. The tower, however, will fall. Look at the positioning from this Weaver, though. It's really just a 4+1 right now. It's like Weaver just playing this annoying pest in the background, just trying to pull the focus from Secret so that they can't get that proper 5v5 fight, but instead it's this more sporadic kind of skirmish-based engagement. I don't know. I feel like STST has actually been getting a lot done. He doesn't have a lot of net worth. He doesn't have huge items, but he's close to the Solar Crest. And
no, he's got it, yeah.
I think messing with the backline in these fights has had really a big effect on breaking up these fights.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's the scout for the Radiant team. I think he's been one of the most important aspects of this whole lineup for the Radiant. And they just keep doing their thing. So one last tower remains in the mid lane. Will Secret be able to hold it until the next Aegis? That's the question. DD rune down bot. Not going to be spawning next to the Rush Pit this time, which means there also won't be one next either. But we shall see. 1 more minute to the possible Roche timer. That's the most important thing for a Drow strat. Second Roche, Aegis and Cheese. 1 for Necro, 1 for Drow. And ideally, you want to go high ground with that. I don't think you want this tier 2 down. Hopefully before you even grab the Aegis and the Cheese.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Quick trivia question time for you, Trent. Vendetta.
Yes.
Does it give him unit walking, or can he
Yeah,
body
yeah.
block?
No, you can go through people.
You go through people? Okay.
Yeah,
I realized
tried
it's
to say
actually
it
not
subtly.
on the tooltip. And then I
Yeah, it's
realized
true.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Well.
no, I let it slide.
Well, buddy, Twitch chat didn't. So today we learned. You hear that? Vendetta gives you unit walking, just like phase boots.
I mean, it's confusing, though, because there's some heroes that don't when you're in Viz. I get it.
And it doesn't say. It should explicitly say on the tooltip. Am I
They're
wrong?
definitely getting better about the tooltips.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. It would be nice.
You're right, though. The tooltips honestly have come a long way.
Didn't you hear me say, Yaps, we're still passing through the Radiant heroes a little bit later? I was being nice.
Well, I
was trying to subtly
it, and then
hint
I went,
to you.
And then I looked and went, oh my, Yapsor. Well, speak of the devil, they will squash him again. This time STST gets a little bug vengeance, but that's a dead Nyx. It's a bummer.
Oh, Fata does have his Orchid. I feel bad because like you buy this Orchid. So what's his game plan? He basically jumps. Where's that Lotus Orb coming from? That's the big thing. Who's gonna buy Lotus Orb on the Radiant? I feel like Weaver maybe just buys that next or something. Although his Aghanims would also be sick, but obviously that takes quite a bit of gold. But Lotus for the Necrophos will be very important because he's the key silence target from the Queen of Pain. So we've seen a lot of Necrophoses buying very early Lotus Orbs. I wouldn't even be too shocked if he bought it instead of the Radiance, to be honest. Although the Radiance is going to be good. But here we go. There's that silence. There's the Ghost Step to keep it safe.
Orchid, limited follow-up. Looks like the Radiant have more resources here, and Fata just moving into the tree line. Yapsor actually goes in, whiffs the stun, and now Nikwa's rotated, and Yapsor just desperately trying to survive. It's Nikwa with a beautiful fissure. It blocks him out, but the all-heal is there from Chen, and it does actually keep the Nyx Assassin alive. A little spot in the trees where he can walk through. So good effort from Nikwa, but not actually the proper blockout I thought it was. Now Fata still on the run. He's got another blink. He has a TP, but needs to be a little bit careful about how he chooses to use it. He's just going to TP out straight up. That's not going to work. He'll TP into the tree line, but of course there is a bug connected, and they'll have the vision to finish him off. It's a Chain Frost that helps seal the deal.
Good catch there from SFT. What were you... Forgot there was something we were going to bring up, and now I can't remember. Oh, the Crimson Guard. Look at that. Dead item. It's back, baby. We had one yesterday right near the end, too, but this item has just been, like, gone. It used to be the only time you'd see it was against Draft Strats, so I guess it's fitting that it's actually back here. But then it started to become kind of popular. It was a decent item. Yep, Sword of the Courier Snipe.
And
later.
Very nice.
But, yeah, it's kind of cool to see it again there. And you saw it in that situation right there where he pops in, helps Yapsor out, gives him the heal, too. And ensures that all that extra right-click damage from the Drought Aura goes a little bit mitigated. But we're in.
BKB up on Phantom Lancer. That's a big one, Trent.
BKB. So he skipped the bots. That's interesting. He's been relying on Fata to be in the more dangerous spots. And since they are playing in such a big block for the Radiant, it's not that important to have the bots, I suppose. He can kind of stick on one lane for a really long time. There's pretty weak catch-out overall for the Radiant. And Roche dies. Instant DC. A little bit of a Roche dying graphic bug or something causing him to crash, I'm sure. Sounds like some classic Dota 2. Roche is in a... Do you have this like really sad Roche on your screen right now where his arm's like in the air and he's like, ah!
I do, yeah. He has a pretty cool death
dude.
animation, and this is Roche like halfway through transporting into the nether.
Do you remember that old Halo 3 commercial where it was like a giant bunch of statues? Someone in chat will understand it. What are those things called where it's like a bunch of little models? There's a word
obelisk?
for it. No.
A totem pole?
No, it's like oh shoot. It's like a scene of a bunch of little models, like a mini train. Oh, I hate
panoramic?
That's close, but not quite.
Panorama? Those little things you put in a shoebox, right? That you make when you're in school?
Yeah, but there's a different term for it, and now this is gonna bother me forever.
Well, don't worry, buddy.
You know, there's a word for when you can't think of when there's a word on the tip of your tongue you can't think of it. It's called
Leptospirosis?
No, now I legitimately can't. Anomia. Anomia! That's what it is. I just had anomia for anomia. Holy shit. But anyway, anomia is when you can't remember the word for something, and that's the issue I'm having now. But either way...
Ladies and gentlemen, Trent Pax just turned his brain into a pretzel. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is what casting 12 hours a day of Dota looks like. There you go. So here we are. Aegis in tow. SFT ready to siege the high ground. This is a big moment, Trent. The high ground defense Secret needs to make. They go in on Illidan nice and early. He is the Aegis carrier, of course, on that Drow Ranger. Looking at buyback status, not a hell of a lot for Secret. Good old puppy.
But where are their creeps, Andrew? There are no creeps because Fata has killed them. And now he's taking your tier 2.
Wow. Well,
sick
today we
giraffe
learned how to
strat,
stop
nerds.
pushing strats.
Yep. He's been very sneaky back here. They will take the deny, though.
All right.
It's Humao.
Well, that was a really easy
66
defense.
returns.
Sometimes, what's the old saying, Trent? The best defense is a good offense. I believe we just saw that.
Yes, that applies quite well there. Well said.
Yes. I got all excited about buybacks. I should have just been watching Fata.
Look at that stack. Gets the Ancients. Sorry, I didn't get these guys. The Ancients are obviously way more important.
Yum, yum, yum. So, Necro is actually committed to this Radiance. I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest. Like, Necro's one of those heroes I feel like is all about survivability. And the Radiance does add that mischance, of course, so it helps, but it feels like an interesting choice here, as we were sort of discussing.
Well, I mean, you're against the PL. You're up against the Chen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of value there. Burning down all these.
It's not bad. I mean, at this point, it's great once you have it. I guess I would have said that's a really risky build-up, and I would be surprised if Necro actually commits to it. But he got away with it.
Yeah, we get a lot of them these days.
Yeah. Pipe, Ghost Scepter, straight into the Relic.
On the Yapzor.
He gets stunned, but they're going to drop another sentry. Let's see the daisy chain of sentries here. Nikwa does not have any more, but they've got another. That's 3 sentries down, and Yapzor still on the run.
Oh, the dust misses.
Sneaky, cheeky little devil. But they found him. Oh,
well, they just know where he is.
It's just a nice little gust.
They can't do anything.
Oh, yeah, there's a little window.
And now he's just to sneak through again. How much more vendetta does he have? Not much. And now he's holding alt right now. Oh, no. Oh, my God, he almost got a courier unintentionally.
Oh.
And they can't get him. Nicely done, Yapzor.
He wanted it so bad. Could you imagine? Hey guys, I found a courier. So, how much do the BKBs matter here, Trent? Obviously, that's a loaded question, but there's one on the way for Queen of Pain, so we're going to be looking at like back-to-back 10-second BKB charges ready to go for Secret in the very near future.
Did you unintentionally Beck to Beck?
No. What?
No, see, guys, he doesn't keep up with his. You're not a mid-1 stream watcher, my friend. You don't understand.
I will admit, I have never watched mid-1 stream.
Yeah, you've got some issues, my friend. Yeah, exactly. Beck to Beck. Yeah, you just don't understand. You unintentionally mean. Well done. Good job.
So, back to my original question. How much do these BKBs matter, brah?
Back-to-back BKBs. Very good. Earthshaker. Necrophos. Even just the Lich.
Yes.
He's annoying.
Yes.
Buy BKB. No longer annoying. If you think about PL, how do you fight? You have to like run in there. It's already obnoxious enough against all the extra right-click damage from this Drow Ranger, but Crimson Guard's going to help out a little bit with that. The global heal helps out. But on top of that, it's just all this random magic damage from Necrophos, from the Earthshaker, and from the Lich. So
Trent,
they need BKBs.
Thrice a BKB once Venno has one.
Back to back to back.
Back to back. Here we go.
We're there. We're in.
We are there. So is that the time? Is that when Secret says, all right, enough is enough. We've had a lot of fun with you, Drow Ranger, but this one's over.
Pretty much what they've been saying all game, right? They've just been avoiding them. They've just been split pushing, killing waves, getting gold. There's a reason they have a 6K lead. This has kind of been their bread and butter lately. Tactical advantage over their opponents. A lot of their games have looked exactly like this, where you just have Yapzor and Puppy doing random scouting things. I've seen the Bounty Hunter Nyx combo before, just going like double melee heroes, and they just run around. If they're on the Dire, this is where those two supports live. They watch everything the enemy team does, and they just tell Fata and Mid-1 where to go to not die.
Oh, up top, Peksu in a lot of trouble. Fata uses the Sonic Wave. Oh, no, 20
Oh, he needs to get denied.
The dagger is there, and no deny will come, but Yapzor will trade his life. They make it a 1-for-1, an even exchange, as now Fata blinks away. Some style points there, dude. Finish him off with the damage over time, the little dagger.
Yeah, but let's look at like Radiant Heroes right now. So they're all here. The wave is there. Mid lane's pushing into the tower. Mid one's down bottom, pushing this wave all the way in. And now we talk about BKBs. BKB cancel TP. At least they have something in the Reaper's sight. But he has no mobility item. He's building into that Lotus Orb next that he needs to deal with the Orchid. So, like, what are the odds that he's actually going to be there to cancel any of your BKB TPs? Relatively low.
Mm-hmm.
This game is getting pretty tough here for the old Radiant.
Out on Drow, this might be one of the last big power spikes that she gets in this game, depending on how the next couple fights go. Aegis has expired, so no more second life, but she's got evasion.
Yeah, Lich is chain frosting bottom. That's what's happening right now.
Well,
push out these waves.
A pipe and a Crimson Guard up on Puppey. I like it, man. I like itemizing around these 5-man type items. Here we go. BKB used by Fata goes in onto Nikwa, trying to TP home, and it will not work. They've actually got the damage. Now Fata blinks forward. It's Illidan that's getting low. A lot of damage. He's completely out of mana. Just has to stand his ground. Crimson Guard doing a ton of work. Big stuns as now Thompson is locked down. It's a disaster for the Radiant. 3-0, and it's not over yet. Weaver takes the Orchid. The damage is way too much, and it is a slaughter. Trent, dare I say, a 5-0 exchange.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit worried after that whole bottom engagement thing, where like they couldn't punish there, and then they got the Aegis, and then they had the Aegis and the cheese. But once you don't get high ground with the Aegis and the cheese with the Drow strat, that's when you gotta start sweating a bit, right? Now the BKBs are out. Now they're split pushing like crazy. The gold lead is starting to double up, and they just find you without that Aegis, and they know there's nothing you can do. He didn't even pop the cheese on Necrophos. He's like, well, I'm just going to save this for when we're actually going high ground, because they need Aegis and 2 cheeses now.
Yeah, and now
to have a
PL,
hope.
He's going to pick up a Radiance of his own. He's going to get a little bit of counter burn to go with it. I mean, Trent, honestly, how much of countering that mid push in the fashion that Secret did just demoralized the Radiant? You know, you've got everything. Yeah. You've got Aegis. You've got cheese. Your Drow Ranger's feeling strong. She just finished a set at the gym. You run up to the high ground. You hit it twice. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, shit, we're out of creeps.
Yeah, all and the D-push, again, is not that good from the Dire in terms of, like, if you approach a tower with creeps, they basically would have to Sonic Wave it for that same solution to occur. Or, like, maybe you get a Gale or something, but if there's a Catapult, they're going to have some trouble actually dealing with it. But when it's out here all by itself and Fata can just stand in and spam his spells, it's fine.
But it's like it completely stopped SFT dead in their tracks. Like, they didn't even really try another 5-man push up to the high ground. They just kind of let the Aegis expire and said, well, I guess we're going to farm through it. We don't really have a counter to that plan. Maybe Weaver can get Ags. I mean, ever since that moment, it has really felt like the apt analogy is Secret toying with their food before they finish it. You know, they're farming, they're pushing, they're fighting when they want to, and Secret is just owning this map right now. It's a 15K net worth lead.
Yeah, I think they saw the BKB on the PL at that point, and they were like, okay, if we wait around, like, oh, there's an ulti onto Ace, but
he
again, BKB.
It. Yep, and he still drops the ult. Now Fata on the way in, thinking about going in, but there's a double damage on the Drow. They need to be a little careful. Caught by the dagger. She is slow, but nice gust. Slows back the Nyx. Fata blinks forward. Opportunity for a big ult. Connects on all 4. Chain Frost starting to bounce around, but there's a lot of illusions and creeps nearby. All 5 still alive for both teams, but it's Secret that are on the aggressive here. Starting to regroup. Double damage. Still with about half duration. Very wise not to overcommit there, as that Drow definitely could have turned that fight around if they went in too deep.
Okay. Slight success for the Radiant because he didn't all die this time. At least there's that. But the Dire have shrined up. Their ultis aren't that important, honestly, for their fighting. It's basically just mid one. So, not a big deal. Hez's Radiance will go for the Scotty next. And still has 5 defusal charges, too, to help out against this Necrophos. Who had to ditch the ideas of a Lotus Orb, it looks like, and just goes straight for the BKB, which is also a fair solution. Especially when you can farm a bit faster with the Radiance. But back to Roche. That is the plan, as Nikwa will try and eliminate their evil scout in the Veno ward. But Puppey has snuck a Centaur nearby, too, so you can just periodically run it in and out.
Oh, hello.
Yep.
Yeah, going to be hard to sneak Roche again, right? That first one, okay, you caught Secret off guard. What's the old fool me once, shame on me, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. However, the... George Bushed it. My bad. Nikwa in on 2. Connects, but do they have the follow-up damage? BKB popped by Ace. He gets sent back. He'll live. Fata also survives through the Reaper's Sight, and now Thompson gets brought down. Bottom Sun it will be as they move in onto Illidan. This Drow Ranger in way too deep. She pops the Manta, but she will fall. Nikwa slowed into oblivion. He's the third to drop, and now Secret have a fresh Roshan at their disposal.
If you're the Radiant, you're just thinking like, oh geez, not good. I've seen them hold out a decent amount, to be honest, with their draft strats before where this has happened. You start getting to some of those other itemizations like Aghanims maybe for the Drow or something, but I think the farming is just a little bit too much from Secret, as they now even look to find Pexu.
TP's
not
out.
going to guess correctly.
Good. Yep, he'll be all right, but yeah, this gold lead now starting to feel closer to that insurmountable mark, up to about 21k or so. It's a massive lead for Secret, and you can really feel the difference in the inventories. You know, Drow, I don't know if there was a perfect item here in lieu of the butterfly, but it certainly doesn't feel like that item was the game changer they were hoping it potentially could have been. You know, no MKBs, nothing like that on Secret, but they don't need it. They've got plenty of magic damage, and you know, evasion only helps you so much. They've still got a shitload of right clicks with all those illusions.
Yeah, I think she was just hoping for like the massive agi boost to pump that damage up on her team and go for the YOLO push. And obviously it didn't work, so it's just like now you're stuck with this no defensive item really besides Manta, and I mean you can call, as you said, Butterfly is a defensive item, but it doesn't matter too much against this Secret lineup. They're still going to shred her.
Yeah. So what is the hope for Illidan's squad, Trent? What can they do? Is there anything, or is this one of those, let's just use this time to strategize going into game 2, folks? It's a best of 5. We still have a lot of Dota ahead. You know, is that the mentality you think for SFT right now?
Yeah, I would say so. You're hoping to turn around. I mean, there's still plays, right? You know, people make mistakes. Echo slams happen too. You don't want to just give up. They can't see that it's a 24k lead, or they'd probably be even more demoralized. Yeah. But they're probably starting to notice some of these levels, like Venomancer, almost level 25. Fata's now gotten up into that level 20 talent with the plus 300 health if he wasn't annoying enough already.
Uh-oh. Little Illidan. Initiated on. Fata blinks over with the Shivas, pops the BKB, and now the fight breaks out. A lot of follow-up for Illidan. His teammates are nearby, and Fata will be forced back, but now the cavalry has arrived for Secret. Illidan getting very low, and Fata will finish him off with a Sonic Wave. Now Thompson left behind, just way too much damage. The Crimson Guard and pipes have been popped, and SFT will lose 2 cores as Secret get one step closer to finding a win in game number 1. Pexu gets a haste rune. That's nice.
And he does survive. He got out of there. Who was that AC just on? Was that Queen?
Yeah.
Someone just bought an AC. I'm not sure who it was. Oh, it was Veno. Okay. Ace AC.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Sorry,
Ace AC. Jeez, that's... Okay. Anyway.
Eto
Gege.
Yep. It's looking grim. Buyback status. There are 2 available for the Radiant, Necro and the Drow. Here we go. Lich initiated on. Soulburn not even gonna proc. Dies in the blink of an eye as the tier 3 tower is turned to rubble. The Eye of Scotty will come out on the mid one, so he's even beefier, bigger, badder than before. Barracks will crumble. And I think Secret might have this one, Trent. We might get one more fight left in us. The one final stand from SFT.
We need one big dunk here from Nikwa.
I mean, look at the spread, though. Secret aren't
a dignity dunk.
There's
look at that
one
dignity dunk.
It's one. Mid one, in some trouble. That's the Aegis. Now the rest of the fight will continue. Fata doesn't have an ult, but they just obliterate Nikwa. Weaver, invisible nearby. Thompson doing what he can, but Fata, he's here. He's ready to party. And he's going to break the 6-pack open as SFT crumble towards their well. Buyback now from the Necro. Mid-barracks slowly crumbling. You got to give it to them, Trent. They don't give up. They're in it till the bitter end, but here we go. Chain Frost bouncing around. Thompson, he'll drop first, and NNGG is called as they get completely wiped. Secret end the game with a nearly 40k net worth lead. An impressive game 1 as Secret dominate.
Puppy's playing Chen. PL's buying Radiance. And Illidan's losing Dota 2. It's 2015 all over again. But that's the end of game number 1. SFT have impressed me before. They beat OG. quite handily. They looked really good doing it.